includes the statement that Pocahontas County is unique because of its karst landscape. It's true that Pocahontas County has karst landscapes. They are the result of the action of erosion on limestone. If you look at the geological map, we're looking here at the 1929 geological map of Pocahontas County from the West Virginia Geological Survey. And if the gross overview of the map, the limestone layers, which are those which give rise to a karst landscape, are entirely restricted to, almost entirely restricted to the western part of Pocahontas County, the northwestern half. The division is more or less along the Greenbrier River. To the west of the Greenbrier River, you find karst, and to the east of the Greenbrier River, you don't. The map includes various cross sections. There's one which runs almost through the town of Marlinton, runs from about a mile and a half west of Marlinton on to a point on the Pocahontas-Bath County line. It actually runs through Knapp's Creek at Minnehaha Springs, to give you an idea of where the line runs. That's section EE on the map. Section EE shows karst near the surface for about half the total length of this section. The total length of the section is roughly
4 miles.
If this is 4 miles, length of the section is roughly 10 miles. The western half of that particular section includes two interrupted areas where karst landscape could be found. The point is that the limestone is near the top of the stratigraphic column in Pocahontas County, and most of the area, or the entire eastern area of the county, that has all been eroded away. So there is no limestone there, and there is no karst. So without going into more detail than that, it's crazy to, well, it shows lack of preparation and lack of concern for facts to propose to regulate the entire county based on features of the landscape which only exist in less than half of it.
Right, and it's obvious here from the map. And in this case, to interpret this, would be the greenish, bluish sections would be the karst, as opposed to the reddish, pinkish sections.
Right.
And of course,
the color that Norman's commenting on is only what outcrops on the surface, and that's why.
Oh, okay.
That's why we need to look up here at the sections, because if it were true that you would drill through sandstone, through non-karst material into limestone, which might be porous and full of caves, then we'd have a problem. But again, sections make it clear that where there is karst in Pocahontas County, it's near the top. So anywhere you don't have limestone on the surface, you don't have any farther below. So yes, I would say it might be a bad idea to do drilling through the limestone, but
that only consists of a very, very small part.
It's a small part of the total area of the county. That's the point.
That's a good point. Well, see, I see that bluish green as just being a very small part in this. Now these are sort of longitudinal.
These are cross sections.
Cross sections. Okay.
The axis this way follows these lines on the map, and then of course this is depth, and this shows what goes on down to half a mile below the surface.
Right, and of course the drilling the fracking will actually occur a mile below, or maybe more. I've heard discussions of 7,000 feet.
Yeah, I don't know. There's another book in here. Haven't gotten to that. The survey book shows layers on down below. In fact, mentions the Marcellus Shale. So
basically, if we are looking at this map, and if we live in this particular area of the county that the image is showing, there's no concern about karst at all.
Basically, east of the Greenbrier River, there is no karst.
So we've got a sort of a visual line of demarcation. It's the Greenbrier River.
Yeah, very clear.
Well, then that would, of course, that would make Marty lives over in that karst area, right? I believe he lives in Droop.
Yes, well, Droop Mountain.
Well, Droop isn't listed as karst.
Droop Mountain, there's Watoga, so Droop Mountain is going to be up here. From the top of Droop Mountain, okay, here's the applicable section, would be section FF, so let's look over here. And yes, Droop Mountain itself, there's a lot of limestone along section FF, which is about 8 miles long, running from the top of Droop Mountain to the county line. The western third of that line, roughly, has some limestone in it. So again, the boundary line is the Greenbrier River.
Would it be safe to say that the bulk of the population, or the majority of the population, lives in non-Karst?
Yeah.
Now, I'm not looking at the total land mass. What I'm saying is, we know that we have Durbin and Cass and Marlington and Hillsborough, those areas.
Well, it's interesting because not only is most of the population of Pocahontas County east of the Greenbrier, but
And that's the point I'm making.
but most of the level land is the level areas around Greenbank. Little Levels, I guess, is an exception. Little Levels, of course, is indeed Karst.
Now, I've looked at this map before. This is a very fragile map. There is a place here that it talks about the Onondaga layer.
No, I don't see
Marcellus.
Well, the Marcellus is shown here.
DM.
The DM.
So that is, let's see.
Okay, we can look here. The Marcellus apparently actually outcrops.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many people know just how much Marcellus there is in this county. Right now, they're trying to downplay this.
It outcrops in Burr Valley and running up. Basically, there are two strips where it outcrops on either side of the Huntersville anticline. Huntersville anticline, of course, runs diagonally up through the county, from including Beaver Lick Mountain and Michael Mountain, and basically runs out once you get to, I guess it's Arbavale.
Yeah.
Marcellus outcrops a little bit. Now, they wouldn't want to drill it where it outcrops, because wherever it outcrops,
It leaks.
It leaks.
Yeah, that's right.
So-
That's a big. I thought in the beginning that the anticline, the Devil's Backbone, would be a good indicator, but in reality, it's a leak.
Right. They wouldn't want to drill anywhere near Devil's Backbone, but Pocahontas County has some area to the east of the
That is
anticline
not
where the Marcellus is buried, where
Okay.
it might be possible to drill it. The extreme northern end of Pocahontas County, it's buried, and then there is a band west of the anticline, west of Huntersville, west of a line that runs diagonally from Huntersville through Greenbank and Arbavale, where the Marcellus is buried. And there's a couple miles variable width band west of the outcrop where you would not get into Karst at all. So in any event, the proposed regulation as it stands is not based on the actual geology of Pocahontas.
So they really haven't studied it correctly. And of course, you are referencing the geological study that Paul Price did here in 1929.
Don't think the rocks have changed much since then.
No, I don't think there's been a lot of change in the rock.